Now, one thing to understand is that the animal shown there might look like an elephant or a horse, but actually, it was neither of them. It was a unicorn, an animal that does not exist in the real world. The stones on which they used to write may seem very large to you, but that was not the case. These were very small stones, almost 5 centimeters in size, on which they used to write. Historians have found these same small sized stones. They collected all of them and counted them. After counting, historians discovered that there were around 400 signs. Just like in English, we have 26 letters, but they had 400 signs, which were called symbols. These symbols included small signs of birds, turtles, and other small animals. The language of the Egyptian civilization has mostly been decoded. This happened because a stone was found on which Egyptian writing was written, and below that, the Greek language was written. Since scholars already knew Greek, they were able to understand its meaning and then decode what was written in Egyptian. But till today, in the Indus Valley civilization, no such stone or base language has been found with which we can compare and understand the meaning of their language. Some Indus script words were also found in Mesopotamia, even though the Mesopotamian language itself was different. This shows that these people used to trade with each other. We noticed that whenever the Indus symbols were used, the same symbols were not repeated again and again. But in Mesopotamia, when Indus Valley symbols were found, some symbols were seen repeating twice. The interesting reason behind this is just like today. The ABC Latin script is used by Germans and also by people in the UK, but when they speak, both languages are completely different. However, the writing script remains the same. Similarly, even today in Urdu, we use English alphabets while typing. The base script remains the same, but the language changes. In the same way, the symbols found in Mesopotamia were different because Mesopotamians spoke their own language, but they used the Indus Valley base script. That is why the Indus Valley symbols found in Mesopotamia were different in meaning, even though the symbols looked similar. Now, if we talk about their cities, almost all their cities followed the same pattern. The cities were surrounded by boundary walls, and inside the city, a citadel fort was built. This fort had its own boundary wall, and inside it were markets, workshops, and daily life activities. The fort was built at a slightly higher level, while the city was at a lower level. Now, you might think that these boundary walls were built to fight enemies from outside, but that was not the reason. They built these walls to protect themselves from wild animals, and also because the civilization was located near a river. If the river flooded, the water would not enter the city. That's how they protected their cities. The biggest attraction of this civilization was the Great Bath, which was like a large swimming pool. It covered around 900 square feet, and its depth was about 2.4 meters. This swimming pool was built with baked bricks, and it was properly waterproofed. A drainage system and a well were also found nearby, which shows that they used fresh water in this pool. The capital of the Indus Valley civilization was Mohenjo-Daro. The most surprising thing about this civilization was that no clear evidence of religion, war, or battles was found. From other civilizations, we usually learn what religion they followed and whom they fought wars with, but here nothing like that was found. It felt like these people were living a peaceful and happy life. Now, the important question is, how did this civilization end? According to historians, from 1900 BC to 1300 BC, this civilization started to decline. City planning began to collapse, buildings were no longer maintained, roads were not repaired, and the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro started filling up. Trade with Mesopotamia also came to an end. No one knows exactly how they suddenly disappeared. Some theories suggest that the Indus River's water level decreased, and because they depended heavily on irrigation and farming, trees were cut down excessively, greenery disappeared, and the land became unsuitable for living. Because of this, people were forced to migrate. Another theory says that a major disease spread in the area, which destroyed the entire civilization. Whatever the reason may be, one thing is confirmed. After 1900 BC, this civilization completely disappeared. Just think about it. They survived for almost 5,000 years, and after such a long time, they vanished so completely that no clear trace was left behind. Even today, our modern era hasn't lasted that long. In the next video, we will talk about the Egyptian civilization. If you liked my video, please subscribe, like, and share it with others.